Okay, this won't be too long tonight because we don't have anything changing in the nature of the market, which is we're in a very lethargic, doldrum type summer trading, as we can see here in the Dow. Up, down, up, down, up, down, and not really trying to get up above that resistance level. Kind of the same scenario over here on the NASDAQ. The only underlying factor is they're staying above the T-line and they're actually using the T-line as support. So there's not any real buying, but there's no selling going on in this market. And crude oil has been backing off for the last few days, but I wouldn't doubt if we're not just kind of back in a trading range, sideways range. So even though the market is kind of lethargic, it doesn't take a lot of effort to do simple scans to see which stocks have patterns that look very attractive. That was our recommendation today on EQOS. You can see the fry pan bottom. You can see the fact that they closed above the 50. They opened up positive. It was telling us this pattern was confirming. And the 50 wasn't acting as resistance. And gold got pretty beat up over the last few days, trading up a little bit after hours. And silver also got beat up pretty bad. Let me see if I can go to a... Let's see, which one are they using for... You, okay. The silver, yeah, rolled over. So observe the obvious. After they fell through the 200, came back up, and there was your shooting star just touching the 200 and then selling off. Which we'll get when we get to some of the shorts, show you the same scenario on individual stocks. We recommended Mavis today because of this gap up, kind of almost like a little, not quite a bullish flutter kicker, but the fact that you can see they were gapping it up and sending it in that direction. Next target obviously is the 50-day moving average. And this is just your bobble breakout, high probability expected result situation. When they came up through the 50, where was your next target? The 200. So that's the target. But because of all the mechanics of investor sentiment, what do you do when you see it hit a target that quickly? Just obviously move to your 10-minute chart and then see what the 10-minute chart is telling you. I hate that thing. Telling you when they get up to that level, if they're going to go up through or if they're backing off. So if you took profits up here, you can see what they did for the rest of the afternoon. Just moved it sideways, which meant once they hit the resistance level and backed off, they weren't selling it off. They were just backed it off from that level. Now, some people are asking, well, when do you buy this one? Ruh-roh. Remember over here, we didn't have a buy signal. So it's to be a little bit cautious. Over here, we do have a buy signal. There's your kind of your cradle type pattern. That's more apt to produce expected results because it is a signal. So if you wanted to start buying or adding to QuantumScape more for a long-term hold, this is probably a very good, safe area to do it because of that signal today. I don't know why SLI doesn't come up fully on here, but SLI is still moving up nicely. And BTBT had some profit taking today when they gapped it up again in the overbought condition. The worst case was that you put your stop at the previous day's close. Or if they had traded it up, you might have taken some profits when it came back down through the open. That was all predicated on the fact that you were above the overbought condition. Start watching and then look how far away you had actually moved from the T-line. Just a good kind of process for saying, when do I want to start taking some profits? Didn't necessarily mean you had to take off the whole position, but taking off some was prudent. Upstart, let's make this a little bit smaller. The fact you had a fry pan bottom, came up through the 50 with good solid evidence where they took it up, pulled it back to the T-line, took it up again, continuing this pattern. I think there's a wee little teeny gap right there. So there's still some more upside, and I think, did somebody say they're reporting tomorrow, reporting earnings tomorrow? And CVM still in a fry pan bottom. Now I bought puts on Hood because when you have a spike like that, again, if you were up here that far away from the T-line the other day, that's when the 10-minute chart becomes your main indicator. But the fact that they brought it all the way back down through that level, notice what's happened every time they've opened it. They opened it higher but traded it lower. Opened it higher today but traded it lower. This likely will mean it's going to go flat, or they could be ready to pull back to the T-line because the buying seems to have dissipated a little bit. And if you had been short on some of these oils, LPI is still a good short. LASR was also a good short. There's your bearish best friend. There's your double doji, failure at the 50. Probably has more downside. I wouldn't doubt they couldn't bring it down to this level. All right, the biggies, not a whole heck of a lot. They upgraded, or somebody upgraded Tesla, so that's staying up above the T-line. But Apple is just dead in the water. Amazon is pretty much dead in the water. Netflix, same scenario. So I'm pointing these out. Did you sell any Hood puts to offset the, what's the IV? No, I just bought puts. Oh, did I sell any puts? No, I bought puts. And NVIDIA. Yeah, no, I was playing I'm playing it on the fact that they haven't been able to trade it up after they've opened it. That Hood could drop another 5, 7, 10 points as soon as everybody gets tired and says that it's not going up anymore. Netflix sideways also. Now Splunk, you can see it's still staying above the T-line. Look for your double doji setup. Okay, now there's your double doji setup. But I've got this in the category of observe the obvious. And observe the obvious is they drift back, they drift back, they drift back, and then what happens when they get to the 50? Now you start seeing buy signals. Now, can you always always project that when they start buying here, they're going to have this type of move. Definitely not. But you've got improved probabilities of being an uptrend and better probabilities that if there is a big move like this, that the charts are going to kind of put you in those situations with a lot more probability of being in a big price move. Same scenario on a recommendation on JYNT. There's your Morningstar signal, bounce right off the 50. Good strong move. So this is the advantage of having a chat room where everybody's kind of looking for the same thing. Today, somebody pointed out ENTX. Look at the Morningstar type signal right off the 50. If this opens positive, what's it doing? Telling you they're buying off the 50, breaking this downtrend. Look for another good strong move. That's really not a double doji. And it could be. Whereas Splunk, you can see is more in an uptrend already. I don't know. What was the volume for this one today? Yeah, not great volume, 350,000. So it's low, but it's viable. And so look where this one is rebounding, right smack dab off the 50 with a left-right combo, a bullish signal. Again, this is just evidence, not evidence. This is the result of being able to graphically see where investor sentiment is changing. Obviously, on a support level, is this just a bounce? Well, it might be a bounce if there was no signal. But this is pretty good, a pretty good bullish engulfing, bullish left-right combo. So there's your double doji. It's already in an uptrend, and they took it up higher. Now, I'd be setting stops someplace like the halfway point of today's candle on Marna. Okay, on 8/19, that's still a good ways away. I think, what is today, the 9th? Yeah, it's a week and a half. Sava, when they get banged like this, you got to see when the healing starts. Well, there's a bullish Harami. Figured they would probably at least bounce it up to the T-line. So now once it's gotten to the T-line and gone through, that gives you a better prospect that there is now going to go back into this uptrend. So Sava looks good again. IPA bounced off the 50. Now normally with a big move like this and this, it goes flat. But this one's kind of indicating that we're heading back into a J-hook type pattern. Now here's a fry pan bottom on Urban 1. And you can observe the obvious. Where did this fry pan bottom support? Right smack dab on a moving average that everybody could visually see that it's supporting there. There's your double doji. Where do you think your next likely target's going to be? Probably back up to the 50. Clove was another one pointed out today in the chat room. Kind of a fry pan bottom breakout with a doji sandwich. Next likely target up here to the moving averages. So this is just being able to identify when there's been a change of investor sentiment coming off a pattern, a J-hook pattern in Clove. Now, is that J-hook pattern relevant? Well, the fact that you can see that there is a resistance level right about there says, well, there's a J-hook pattern that tells us if this is wave 1, the possibility of wave 3, we can quickly recognize whether this resistance level is going to act as resistance, or if they go through on positive trading, now we've got a much stronger indication that wave 3 is in progress. This is breaking out. Now, that also adds to the strength of this move is we're looking for wave 3 of a J-hook pattern, where most people are probably watching and say, well, there's a resistance level. See if it breaks out through that. If it does, I'll start buying, which means we're probably in there a little bit ahead of everybody else just because we're buying the pattern, not the breakout point. And ORGN, there's something wrong here. That's what was wrong. There's your doji sandwich after a bullish harami. What's that tell you? The investor sentiment has changed. There's your buy signal that's breaking the T-line downtrend. EXPR, did we do that one already? EXPR is that slow curve, fry pan bottom, breakout of the 50. Expect more upside. And AHPI, this is kind of your methods rising. They took it up, they pulled it back indecisively, pulled it back indecisively, pulled it back indecisively. But what was the one element that made this a methods rising? They could never close it back below that last candle. So that told you the bears gotten tired out, the bulls happy, and they stepped back in, more upside. Let's see. ORMP. There's your doji sandwich. I don't know what that one is. Kind of breaking out through this level, and then a doji sandwich implies more upside. NRXP. Looks like it's trying to reverse right here on the 50. If it starts trading positive, what do you think your next target is? Back up to the 200. VXRT, there's kind of your bullish flutter kicker, not a true bullish flutter kicker, but when they broke out through this level, where you can see it was pretty much a resistance level in here, that tells you there's probably a lot more upside, especially now that you can see that it's also creating a fry pan bottom. Another J-hook pattern, AEHR. Wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. And Smeglo, no, that's not Smeglo's. SGMS, kind of a fry pan bottom. Look where it closed, right at the 50. You think everybody was watching that? Now, we know there's a fry pan bottom where they gapped up breakout. If they open this positive tomorrow, what's it telling us? They're continuing our fry pan bottom, and everybody else is saying, well, it's not resisting at the 50 anymore. So if you're buying immediately on positive trading, more than likely everybody else is seeing that it's breaking through the 50 will start piling in, and that's what adds to our profitability. An SPRT, a J-hook pattern. And TPST, setting up. So you definitely want to make sure these get strong buy signals, otherwise it can go flat. And you had this big, huge spike, pulls back, not unusual just for it to go flat for quite a while. Because what did this tell you? It finally hit a level where the bears were stepping in. So the bulls are in, the bears are in. Now you don't know which way or who's trying to take control, or it doesn't know which way it's trying to take control. Okay, so today somebody pointed out right before the end of the chat session that Groupon got hit pretty bad. That's usually the follow-through is more selling. Same scenario. This is a wounded duck that everybody hate, or everybody's saying, get me out. Did it stop here? It's trading lower, get me out. And that's what usually creates some follow-through to the downside. The gold and silver stocks. I thought there was something more compelling here. But the fact that they did this big shooting star right here and then traded lower, what would that tell you about the breakout? It didn't occur. So what we try to do is add 2 plus 2 together. And I don't have it on here. What happened to my 34? Neo suspects. Add a study. Moving average. Setup. Light gray, and let's make it a point. Oops, that didn't even work. But that big bearish engulfing, you could see where it was resisting at the downtrend. So that's made this a good short. So the more things you can add to your analysis of where people were selling, the better off, or the better the probabilities that that's where the sellers were definitely coming in. So when it failed up here at the 50, it did a kicker signal to the downside. S-bone was a good short. What happened here? There's your bearish flutter kicker signal, continuing this downtrend. There's your long-legged doji, bearish confirmation. Target on mag, no idea. You can pretty much see that there's a trend channel, so you could be heading down into this range. And you can see you still have some juice left in the stochastics. Well, oh, not found. Okay, well, then we're not going to fool around with it. So, look where your morning star signal occurred. Right smack dab at the 50-day moving average, close back below the T-line. If this opens lower, what's it telling you? They probably came up, failed. They're still in a downtrend. You could be shorting this one. Okay, so right now, usually if I do up a page, there's another twice as many that look good. But because this market, and it's not because of this market, the market's not doing anything, because more than likely you've got more people out away from the desks in August because everybody was stuck at the desk last August. Where to put safety stop on doji sandwich? Below halfway point of the current green candle or below the doji? No, usually probably at the beginning of the second green candle. But if the second green candle started up strong, But by the end of the day, came back down through the open. You want to close it back out because something went wrong. Both on the long side and the short side. So you can see here on hogs, you had kind of a bearish doji sandwich. And this, and I kicked myself because I had two charts to look at today. When I saw hogs open lower and start trading lower, especially coming back through this level right there, that was a good short. So it's still on a downtrend. But I was also looking at live cattle, which opened higher and started trading off. So I shorted that one, and that one did nothing. So some days you hit them good, and some days you don't. Crude oil trying to bounce right here where it did the last Morningstar signal. Okay, that's about all I got tonight. Again, we had some good trades, even though they're fewer and far betweener. There's still some good moves, especially when you're using a pattern that tells you have a high probability expected result. So the next day, one should move the safety stop to the open of the second full candle. You could do that, yes. Trying to think of which one. Can't think of one right now, even though I know we looked at some. Yeah, that wasn't it. Yeah, so you want to put your safety stop at a level that tells you that's where it shouldn't be trading. If the pattern that we expect results from is supposed to be moving in an upward direction and it comes back down through the candle that told us it was confirming the signal, the second green candle. Let's see, Jules, hold on. This one you can stay short. Look how it failed right at the 34. All right, so are there any general questions on candlestick analysis? If not, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. Thoughts on the 1 minute chart? Phil, yes, you can do whatever is comfortable for you. I don't know whether the hogs went straight down. I think they did. But if I was trading hogs today, I would have been trading off the 10-minute chart, and it did move fairly quickly. And if I think this is working, then I flip to my 5-minute chart. And if I'm getting ready to short, I might flip down to my 1-minute chart. I don't know where that would have been. And if the 1-minute chart is still selling off, that means the 5-minute chart is still selling off. So it depends on how fast you want to trade during the day. So I used to use the 1 minute, 3 minute, 10-minute chart combination, trading the E-minis. Right now I use the 10-minute chart, trading most of the commodities, and then we'll flip down to the 5 and then the 1-minute chart to do the actual fill. Fuel cell, good breakout. Lithium, fry pan bottom, looks like a good breakout. You could go, or I would stay long, but notice they gapped up, so now you have to see this open positive. If it opens lower tomorrow, you probably want to take profits because it's telling you they are taking profits at the recent high. And Snap, you can get ready to buy this one based upon if it breaks out through this level, you're in wave 3. Roku, well, this one will be pretty simple. If you're short and it opens positive tomorrow, you cover your short. If it opens lower, you stay short, and then you put your stop at today's close. And Ring, if you were short, I would have covered the short. I wouldn't be going long until they can break this downtrend, which looks like it has to come up through the 50. You do have a Morningstar signal, but it's really not a good trend. I would not be trading this one right now just because there's not enough trend force one way or the other. NSL, another one you can get ready to buy on positive trading tomorrow on a fry pan bottom. And Space, you can buy this one, just obviously watch to see what happens when it gets to the 50. 3D, you can go long on positive trading. You want to see it break out through this resistance or this congestion area. Gimbals, there's your doji sandwich. So if I was long today, I'd have a safety stop right here at today's open. Because the logic says if it comes back down through there, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. AHPI, just stay long as long as it stays above the T line. MVS, EG, that's another lap. You're getting a few laps today. Apple, I would not be long or short. Mavis, you could still be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. MS, or Microsoft, not anything exciting. It's in an uptrend. You just stay long as long as it stays above the T line. Planet Fitness, nothing. Not a trending chart. And, oh, maybe change that. It looks like their earnings knock it down here. I don't know where it is. If it came down through this level, you could go short with the anticipation. You're probably coming down here. It's not a big percentage move, but it would be heading in the right direction for a short. Groupon, if you're short, stay short. I think we did this one, didn't we? Maybe not. You can buy this one on positive trading using the T-line as your stop. And CBAT, you can get ready to buy this one on positive trading. And use the T-line as your stop. Beyond Meat, another one you can buy with the expectation they're heading up to the 50. You could buy this one on positive trading. I just figured if somebody had bought it today because of the doji sandwich, you stay long. But you could still buy this one on positive trading. AVIR, said that right. You stay long, but your safety stop should be at today's open. Kind of a shooting star in the overbought area after gapping up a little bit. Juniper was having a hard time getting out of its own way today. It's still got the prospects of a J-hook pattern, but nothing there yet. I had some calls that I closed out, so there was better places to be trading. I'll wait to see if they do a J-hook pattern from here, because now they've got to get back up to this level. And C's has to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. If it opens lower, they're bringing it back to the T-line. Then you have to wait to see what it does from that level. I think we did Tesla. Tesla was upgraded by somebody today. You stay long as this stays above the T-line. Caterpillar, nothing. Wouldn't be long or short. There's no direction to that one. LCID, nothing there yet. Yeah, wouldn't be in this one at all. And JP Morgan, that one you can get ready to buy in positive trading with your fry pan bottom breakout and then a positive open to give you a doji sandwich. Water, just stay long. Another doji sandwich. I told you they were staying above the T-line. Laser, you want to stay short on this one, especially if it opens lower tomorrow. If you are short, you put your safety stop just above today's high. This one, that's a toughie too. If this opens lower, I'd close it out, because I told you they were having a hard time breaking out through the high of before. And Deere, all you can do here is stay long. OTLY. That one you can buy also, using the T-line as your stop. Wells Fargo. Nice fry pan bottom. So if you're long, you stay long. If you want to go long, you can be buying it. If you are long, I'd put a safety stop just below the doji low. If it comes back down through there, that means they couldn't get out through the resistance level. Home Depot. That's not really any great chart. As a matter of fact, if I was long and this opened lower tomorrow, you'd close it out. Yeah, just not heading in the right direction right now. Kohl's, nice fry pan bottom. I'd be ready to buy this one on positive trading. Okay, there's still some good strong charts. I'd keep an eye on IPA. And keep an eye on CARV. Sure I had. Oh, we'll probably be taking a look at lithium again. That one's acting well. And obviously, we got a bigger chart. SLI as a lithium is working well. My chart on LAZR yeah, that's different than LASR. We shorted this one. Okay, we're done early tonight, which is good. We all should be out chasing lightning bugs. Phil, it all depends on what the market's doing. If the market is opening positive, continuing the pattern or the trend we expect, and the stock that you're looking at is opening positive, maybe within 90 seconds we're buying. On the other hand, if the market should be in an uptrend and it opens lower and kind of lollygags around before the buying comes in, it might be 45 minutes before what the charts that you're looking at start acting well. And we'll go through all that when the fall gets here on the entry and exit strategies. Okay, everybody, done early. Get out, catch some crickets, lightning bugs, things that keep you happy. All right. We'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning.